Just a minute, sir. Actually, I'm not able to get gallery view. Aditya, just a minute. Just stop sharing your screen, Aditya.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Just a minute.
Stop.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Okay. So students, please turn on your camera. So students and colleague, please turn on your camera. Yeah, one more minute. Please, please. Because I have to take some screenshot. Okay, that's why. Who are all joined, please, turn on your camera. Okay. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Sandhya, ma'am.
Yeah, your voice.
Ma'am, voice not audible.
I think there is issue in your mic.
Sandhya ma'am, your voice is not audible.
1 minute.
Yes, ma'am. Now it's okay.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, can you hear?
Yes, ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, okay.
Yes,
So,
ma'am.
and all present here on behalf of the Department of ECE and Medical Electronics, in association with Institutions Innovation Council, I extend my warm welcome to our beloved staff members as well as HOD ma'am and students for taking part in this webinar entitled Prototype Validation and Converting a Prototype into Startup. I would also like to welcome our resource person, Adithya.M.P.N, alumni 2019 passed out, for accepting his request from us. And Aditya has completed his Bachelor's of Engineering in Electronics and Communication Engineering in the year 2019, and at present he is a co-founder of MemoApps Chennai. And he is a freelancer, he is an entrepreneur, and also he is a CTO, YouTuber, and an top rated freelancer in various activities. And he is at present making his activities in MemoApps, and he has got an experience in Roam AI, and in that he is working in full stack Android SDK from the year May 2020 to February 21. And he has worked on front end platform, and he has got various knowledge in Android developments and also enhancement of architectures. And finally, he has been working with QuickWrite FSAD from the year November 19 to 2020, and he was working on various backend operations and using Python and CRUD operations. And now at present we have our resource person Adithya.M.P.N. He is going to deliver lecture about prototype and validation and converting prototype into startup. I welcome you, Aditya, for this event.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for your warm welcome and your brief intro about me. So, first of all, good evening, everyone, and thank to Mr. Senthilmurugan sir for inviting me for the session, and all other staff members who are joining the session, and students also I welcome, and HOD ma'am. So yes, let's be interactive. I want to make the session as interactive. So before going into sales, so how many of you have an idea about becoming an entrepreneur? So any students? I guess how many students are joined, sir? Or staffs also? I can ask this question. So you have any previously you have idea about becoming an entrepreneur, right? So any staffs or students? Just let me know about your thoughts or what is entrepreneur you feel and how it's different from other employee and entrepreneur.
Actually, everyone used to have their own idea, Aditya. But thing is, actually, we are all highly dependent. Okay, so that we are not in the position to take risk. Okay, that's why most of the faculty members are stick with the so and so position. Okay,
Yes.
but everyone used to have some idea. Okay, that is some novelty based thing. But one aspect is they are lag with the financial support, and another one is some risk part, right? Okay, so because we would have crossed is more than 35 to 40 plus years, right? Age factor. Okay, so that they're not ready to take that much risk. So that's why. But everyone used to have their own passion towards that novelty, right?
Yes, sir, I
Okay.
totally agree. So since you have lots of commitments and all, you can't able to
Yes.
take this.
Yes.
What about students? Now it's the best time to become entrepreneur, right? Who are all there? Students, Carrie, Lavanya, Kiran. Yes, I think are you all there? Hello, Suresh Kumar.
Yeah, students is please be interactive. Okay, but this session is all about the startups. Okay, is you are a super senior. All right. So don't hesitate. Whatever doubts you have, you just ask. Okay. So the session is going to be a more interactive session. Okay. It's not a pure lecture based one. Okay. So we are all expecting your cooperation. So it's be interactive.
Yeah, just tell like in like since childhood you would have think that any idea we can do as like a business, like small things, or think currently I will give you a chance like think on idea. So while finishing the presentation, I will ask what idea you thought that can be made into a startup or business, and I will identify whether its idea is really worth solving the problem, or then we can discuss about your ideas also. Okay, so yeah, a small intro about myself. I think Miss uh, India ma'am, right?
Sandhya
So
ma'am. Sandhya ma'am. Yes.
Sandhya ma'am
Yes,
told about my intro about myself. Thank you very much. So I'll just tell about myself. So I have done my B Electronics and Communication Engineering from Valiamai 2019 passed out. So you could have doubt like you have done electronics and I'm working in totally different field. So for that I can say like passion is your friend, right? So I was so passionate in Android development. So I went actually I got a arrear in the 8th semester. So that's a twist in my life. So till the 7th semester I haven't got any arrears. I'm a good topper, and so that made me to push out my Accenture career. So I actually got on-campus Accenture placement. So due to that area, unfortunately, I couldn't able to jump into area. So I started working in startups, and that too, I like the Android development very much. So I started looking in Bangalore for Android startups, and two, three more startups I have worked, and I learned everything. And now I became an entrepreneur, and I'm doing in my free times YouTube, and I'll also do freelancing stuffs also, and I'll do investments also in stocks, cryptos, and all. So the company which I made is Memo Apps, so which I bootstrapped myself and me and my one of my partner. So he's from MIT College, so he's my partner. So we bootstrapped our company from zero to $1 million. Now, based on the company valuation, it's $1 million one. So today topic is we going to see about a session on prototype validation and converting prototype into a startup. So you can think what's a prototype or thing. So it's a very critical one for a startup to go successful. So it will decide whether it will go success or failure. So it's a critical part we need to know before starting a business or startup. So MVP we will discuss further more about. And today's agenda is uh, Okay, so today's agenda is what is prototype, and we're going to see about MVP and why is it critical for a startup. So there is a difference in prototype and MVP that we will discuss detail, and from how we can find an idea, proper idea, which we can convert into a startup and prototype, and we need to validate the prototype before going into a startup and converting the prototype in a startup with agile methodology. So it's all my personal journey which I want to present you in this session. So lots of people have confusion what is prototype and what is MVP. So actually prototype is a rough draft of MVP. So in analogy we can say, so you are sending an email, right? So without sending the email, the other user can't able to read. It's like a rough draft. Only you or internal persons can able to read the email. So same like that, prototype is a rough draft of MVP. So which can be used to discuss within your team or within your shareholders or investors, or you can show the demo of the internal team. But the MVP is the minimum viable product which has the enough features to satisfy early customers and to provide feedback for the future development. It says like you could have imagined your idea will be a big. For that you need to do lot of works, efforts, resources you have to put. But MVP is just a small version of your big dream, so that people can able to use and give feedbacks to them. It's not a full-fledged product, but it's not like a rough draft. So people can be able to use and can give the feedbacks about the product, right? So fine. At the end, the product is going to use by users. So the enough features we have to give, so that only they can able to get. So what are the core features of the idea? So that we have to deliver it so that they will use, they will tell the feedback so that you can understand, okay, it's really helpful for people. And the difference between prototype and MVP is the prototype, as I said, the email which can't be read by the other user without sending. It's like not fully functional one. It's just for internal purpose, and the security reliability not needed, and it's only limited accessed by internal users, limited number of users, and we can test with fake data also. And MVP is like a real version of your big dream which can be released to the production ready, and it should be secure and reliable because we're going to work with all real data, and it's going to be used by all the users, like not all the full users, only a set of users who are going to be like a beta version, who are going to test and give the feedback, right? So this and all the difference between prototype and MVP, and I would recommend a good web series. After I saw this word MVP, there is a series called Silicon Valley, so that you can see, I think in Hotstar you can get that series. So that will be a good series. You can understand how the startup works, how it can be bootstrap or get an investment. So that's a good series I would recommend. You can watch. And so why prototype and MVP is critical for a startup? Right? So the main importance of MVP, most of the startups fails due to these three reasons: poor product, or bad market fit, or bad marketing. So poor product means, so we will develop something which doesn't need the market. So that's called the bad market fit, where you think that product is very good, but in real scenario, if you release the product to the market, it doesn't fit. People doesn't use this product at all. So that's a bad market fit. Some in some case, the product you have developed is very poor, but the need is really needed by market, but it's not be usable. That's a poor product. And the third failure case is bad marketing, which I personally felt. So what we did in the memo apps, we did a product called Memo Neat. So we did everything really well. Actually, it's a NEET aid app. So whoever the NEET exam, who is writing the competitive NEET exam, they have to read the whole syllabus, right? NCERT book. So we converted the whole book into line by line analysis, and we framed into a different MCQ questions, fill ups, and maths. So we developed the product ready, but we were poor in marketing. So that's the first mistake we have learned from this. So we shut down the company itself due to the poor marketing. We lost our motivation and we thought it's a failure one, but actually the product is really good. But due to the poor bad marketing, we thought it's a failure one. Again, we have given once again a chance, then we did a good marketing, then we got into a good track of revenue. So these three things you have to take in mind. So product and market fit and the marketing. So how much time and money you are going to invest in product, the same amount you have to invest in marketing also. It's like 50-50. You shouldn't compromise in both. So if you compromise anything like product or 25%, 75% marketing or 75%, 25% marketing, you are not going to make it a startup. So yeah, and SISP means like solution in search of a problem. Like say you thought a good idea.
Just sorry for the interrupt, Aditya.
Yeah.
Actually, you can share your screen. Screen not yet shared, Aditya.
Okay.
Okay. Actually, I thought you just given the introductions. That's why. Okay. Yeah.
I think, but I hope everyone got understand
Okay.
what I say.
Okay. Yeah. So as of now, is no, okay, no issues, right?
Just agenda, like what we're going to see, and this is the difference between prototype and everything I explained. So you can just have a look once. Yeah. So now you can able to see my screen there, sir. Hello, sir.
Yes, Aditya. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you can, please.
Yeah. So most of these startups fail because it's like a SISP. So they will create one solution, then they will find, okay, it will solve some problem or not. So that's where the most of the startups fails. Like, so you have to find the problem, then you have to define the solution. So it's not like creating the solution, then search of a problem. I personally did a mistake. One of my startup called Game Book, so which is like connecting gamers. We thought we have developed the product and all, and once we reach the market, people are not going to use that one because it's not solving any problem. Then we started searching for a problem to solve it. So in that case, it will also fail. SISP, that's what we call the term called SISP. So these two categories, most of the startups fail. So in order to avoid that, this prototype and MVP is very critical for a startup in initial stage, whether it's really going to fit the market or it's a really good product which is going to be used by users. So if you have done a good prototype and a successful MVP, that's where the halfway to the victory for your startup. And it helps to focus on right priorities, what you have to work on. Because when you start a startup, there are lots of questions in your mind, which things we have to work on, whether it's marketing or technological development or content development or let's say team or support wise. So it helps to, for your business, which things you have to prioritize because each business is different. So like let's say a tech business, they will focus on content wise. In electronic business, they will focus on quality, product quality. So each businesses are different. So you have to prioritize for which your business is first thing you have to prioritize. So that where this MVP and prototypes is very helpful for us. And mainly user feedback. So at the end, user is going to use a product. So they have to give the feedbacks to you. So for this also MVP is the best tool to identify whether it's going to be a successful product or not. And yeah, so I asked initially, so think about any idea, right? So can you thought any idea, guys? Students, got any idea to start a startup? Hello? Hello? Okay, I think you haven't got any idea. Kavita, Karen, Carrie, Lavanya, Venmadi. Hello, guys. Can you hear me? Okay, I think I haven't got any idea. Yes. Okay, so how to find a idea properly? So best idea is one which solves the critical problem and which helps lots of users. So in that case, the step-by-step process is to steps to find a good idea is talk means talking with the users. So at the end, users are going to use a product, right? So before thinking about your own, or if you have any personal problem also, like within your friends or your relatives facing your problems, then that also become a good idea. Or if you find it, if you didn't find any good problem, then talk with users. So then they will take a points like what are the pain points or real problems they are facing. So by talking with at least before summarizing or defining your idea, at least you have to talk at least 10, 50 to 100 members, so that you can come up with a good idea. Okay, this idea, this solves going to solve this 50 to 100 members. Then you have to research the market, how many users are facing the same problem, so that your market potential will be identified, how much you can scale, and how you're going to reach the users. So you can reach easily within your friends or relatives, but if you want to reach in somewhere in like north side in India or some other country, so you should have a market strategy also. That's where the marketing comes. So 50% you have to focus on marketing also, right? So that also you have to define while you're defining the idea, because some ideas can be easily reachable, like based on age factors, like youths are using Instagram, right? So those and all easily, it's like a digital platform, so it's easily reachable. But some ideas like delivery kind of thing or supply chain, or some ideas have different marketing strategies, so that reach will be different. So that you have to define properly. And another thing, the strong mission and vision you should define while defining the idea itself. So the difference between mission and vision is, so vision is my dream, mission is company's mission. So let's say in my case, in the MemoNeat app, the mission of the company is all students should retain maximum information in competitive exams while on the exam day by using your app. That will be the company's mission, right? So that mission you should be very strong while in initial itself, and after 5 years also your mission and vision should be strong. You shouldn't change it. So once you define your mission and vision and start working on it, so then it will be a motivation factor to achieve it. And vision is my vision. So my vision is to create the most compelling revision based edtech company in all test exam preparations with low cost. With low cost means so every student should get affordable. So currently in the market, like Byju's or big players are there, so they will charge like 50 to 80,000, right? So all of the students can't able to afford. So my vision is every student should get digital products with low cost and with the revision technology embedded with it. So it helps to revise it in a spaced repetition manner, so that they can able to retain maximum information on the exam day. So you have to be clear with your mission and vision. And if we see the use case of SISP, I already told, right? Solution in search of a problem. So let's take it Swiggy and Zomato. So what problem they are solving? Do you think? Do you think what problem they are solving, Swiggy and Zomato? Any idea? No. So actually, Swiggy and Zomato is not solving a real problem at all, right? So they just make the laziness as a thing and helping to deliver products. But if you compare with the UPI or internet banking, they are solving the real pain point. Like previous days, how we are transferring the money. So we will go to the bank and transfer some money. That's a very painful task, time consuming one, right? But in the case of Swiggy and Zomato, even tomorrow, if Swiggy and Zomato is not there in market, still people go and buy the products and food. So that's not a real pain problem they are solving. So in that case, it's very risky to run the business in long term. But if you think, if you UPI internet banking tomorrow stops, it's very painful, right? You can't able to transfer money. So so you have to think like that. So in this idea stage, you have to solve the real problem, which tomorrow your company is not there, how much people are going to get affected, right? So you have to think like that. So the idea's decision is based on the real problem only, you have to get it. And next one is, so you have got the idea. So in this case, idea is just 1% and 99% is execution, right? You agree, right? If you have idea, great idea, it's like a game changer idea also. But if you couldn't able to execute it, someone will do the execution and make the success. So I believe 99% is the execution. Until and unless the idea is not executed, it's a useless thing, right? As Steve Jobs says. So after when it comes to execution, let's see this 3 graph. So which person you feel best in this? The perfectionist or the iterator, the procrastinator, right? So the perfectionist, he will think all the product should get completed in a proper manner, then only you can able to release and ask the user. So it will make the progress very slow, and it can't able to be reiterated in long term, because the perfectionist, what we will does is, initially he will think my everything should be in proper manner, all products should be. So even myself, I'm a perfectionist initial stage, but later on I get used to understand iteration is the best way to solve the problem or to go to the market with a product. Because what will happen as a perfectionist, he will create the product and everything he will finish. The way of thinking is, I need to complete every product with my ideas, then releasing it to user. Then user will say, no, I didn't like this, I need some changes in this. So we already spent a lot of energy and time, then again reiterating is very hard for the perfectionist, so it delays the progress. So what iterator will do, so in the iterator part, the MVP and the prototype comes. So iterator will create a prototype, and he will keep on iterating based on the user, with real users feedbacks, and we will iterate with their feedbacks, and we will keep on changes the product, and finally the final product will come with the best quality and um, best usable product by the user. And the procrastinator, obviously there is no growth at all. So initially most of the startup peoples I have seen as a perfectionist, even myself. So we have to change, we have to think like a iterator in order to be succeed. So think big and start small and release it and keep on iterating. So in this way only this prototype and MVP is very helpful. And you have to validate the prototype. So in my case, in my MemoApps case, so what happened is prototype validation. We thought we are developing a product which is helpful for learning, because we thought learning is hard. So we gave like a flashcard based app. But then only we identified that the real problem is in revision. So what students were asking, that also students were giving feedback. So in our YouTube channel, students were started giving. So learning is very easy, but understanding after learning or making a retention is very hard. Then only they started asking about revision. So make sure you should not solve the wrong problem. Like we did initially the mistake solving for learning, but the real problem is in revision. So but this prototype validation or MVP validation helped you to identify the real problem. So listen to the users, iterate it, solve their real pain points, and get feedbacks again with your users until they are satisfied. So then only the prototype validation is succeed, right? Then converting prototype into a startup. So startup in the sense, so at the end we have to make a profit in the money, right, in a revenue wise. So for that, usually people should buy emotions, not the things. So the product which you are making, they should feel happy, they should feel worth, and they should get let's say the thing they purchased is very very valuable to them. So make the product, even though you are solving the problem, if you haven't get connected emotionally with the users, they never buy it, right? They just use and they will just throw it out. So people will buy emotions. For that, whatever the small things it will connect personally to them, you have to give them also with additional to the problem you're solving. So the USP point is very important for that. So to make out of your stand from your competitors, right? So USP is a unique selling point. So in my case, the unique selling point is like line by line NCERT coverage we have given. So the whole book we have taken, and we hired a lots of MBBS doctors and developers, and we have taken line by line questions, and we converted into a MCQ, right? So no other competitors have doing this thing, because they are given the syllabus coverage, but our USP is line by line coverage. So we started strengthening our USP. So some of the lines we have missed, so we need to strengthen our USP, then only the belief they will get. okay, whole syllabus got covered. So we started strengthening our USP, and we shouldn't stop marketing, because if you stop marketing, your revenue will reduces. So for to become a good startup, so you may think like we can do marketing later once we can complete our product, but that's not a right way of thinking. It will demotivate you. It will stop your progress, because cash flow we need to run the company. So you shouldn't stop marketing, and in the meanwhile you have to analyze a competitor, so that in future also in long run you have to be in the market. Whatever the competitor does, you have to analyze and you have to make it better than them. And finally, the rapid prototyping, you should be flexible with your prototyping. So there are tools like for in our case we have used Marvel app. So rapid prototyping is a very helpful tools like Proteus for electronics based startups. Proteus they will use. You can simulate and you can test it your things with your internal team. So rapid prototyping tools is very useful. You can Google and search it. And most of while you're doing MVP, don't try to make by your own. Try to use readily available third-party solutions for like any automation. So in our case, we used Razor Pay payment gateway. So that gateway helped to get payments directly from users. So it saved lots of time. So this is the while you're making a startup. So these points you have to taken care how to save. You have limited resources in starting, like you have limited amount, you have limited time, so you have to use, and you have limited motivation also. So once the cash flow is keep on running, then only you'll be motivated to the business will continue. So for these things, this MVP and the user feedbacks, it will be very helpful, and this marketing also will helpful for your cash flow. And then yeah, so I'm going to over this session with my personal goal is to create multiple businesses. Whether it's going to be success or failure, you have to keep on trying creating multiple businesses. And yeah, thanks for this session. And you can note my WhatsApp, LinkedIn for any queries. And these are the startups which I have done. So MemoApps, which is a parent company which has a byproducts of Memo NEET for NEET exam preparation, and for GRE for GMAT, TOEFL. So for that we have developed a GRE app, and currently we are doing for TNPSC exams also. And this startup is a blockchain based startup called Truthbook. So most of the fake news are spreading rapidly in Facebook or Instagram or Twitter. In order to avoid that, we are trying to solve with the blockchain technology with some reward mechanism. And the another one is a gamers matrimony. I don't think like say for marriage and all. It's like connecting gamers. Like as I'm a gamer, I want to start a passionate on gaming. So I want to start a startup to connect gamers and play with them like tournaments and all. Okay, yeah. Yeah, thank you everyone for listening to this session. Yeah, any queries and questions? I hope yeah, so it will be very valuable to you. So my question I initially asked, you got any idea on doing a startup? Anyone?
Students from our own department and other department students too. So if you have any queries, please ask.
Yeah. So let's make it some more interactive, or any questions, queries, any violent reactions.
Yeah, please don't hesitate. Whatever doubt you have, so please you can.
Okay. Yes. Yeah.
Is there any doubt?
Just think any question, or what you feel about any doubts regarding MVP or prototype. Just ask any questions you have.
So actually, Aditya, I have a question, right? Okay, so in this last slide, so you have mentioned many applications here. That is a memo app, your own parental application, right? Then you are planning for a game as matrimony. Okay, so actually, what is the objective of the game as matrimony? So nowadays, everyone is developing matrimony for a community based, right? Matrimony for so and so community. Clear, but there is a new thing, right? So now only I used to see game is matrimony. Okay, what it does?
So actually, matrimony, yeah, they will be developing for searching for brides and fiancé, but actually, gamers matrimony to look catchy, we given the name. So the actual use case for this is for people now. Gaming industry is growing very fastly in India as well as worldwide. So we want to connect the same mindset gamers. So in gamers itself, there is a different types of gamers. Some will play in mobile, some will play in PC, and different categories of games are there. Like some play action, adventure. So to want to connect the gamers and business model wise, we thought to conduct tournaments once we get users into them. So we will conduct a tournaments to like how crickets are happening like that. So in this, that's the use case. Real use case. That's not for.
Yeah, which means is it comes under both virtual and physical, right? Okay, that is your game is matrimony will help for both physical mode and virtual mode.
Yes, yes. So actually, we mainly focusing on digital mode because due to COVID, everyone shifted to digital mode playing. So that time we started physical mode also. We plan to do that. So because most of this, we have to grab the users first. So then we can convert it to any other modes. Right? So whoever they have interest, but the main priority is for digital mode.
Okay. Yeah, thank you, Aditya. So students, so from your side, is there any doubt, any queries about prototype, validation, and startups? Thank you, thank you. So Uday Kumar sir, Subhashini ma'am, and Prasanna ma'am joined.
Sir?
So we will wind up this session, sir.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Because no one is ready to ask from student side. Okay.
I have a question.
Yeah. Please.
My question is to like, how did you attract the investors, or what was the basic approach of gaining an investor towards your project or your app?
Okay, so Vijay Lakshmi, right? Asking. Vijay Lakshmi, right? So thanks for that's a good question. So for attracting investors, so it's based on the business type. So if it's ours is a edtech company, so we have to show the numbers like in revenue wise. So how many users have downloaded the app and how many active users and how much revenue we made as a month-on-month growth. So we have to show the growth in percentage wise, like last month we made a revenue of 2 lakh, or this month 20% growth we should show, so that they will get attracted easily to the numbers in revenue. Because since it's a digital business, we don't want much money to invest to make a product and release. So they will expect a revenue in numbers as well as in downloads wise. So we also tried 100x venture capitalist. So we were in mid of so total 5 rounds are there. So we have completed 3 rounds. So final round they asked this number figures of 500k downloads, and revenue wise we have to double it so that they can able to take some share, around 7% of share for a lump sum of 50 lakh they thought investor. So in this way, so it's different on different businesses. So some of the business, let's say like manufacturing or something, you can't initially run the business because you need capital. But if you have a good idea, good prototype, they are ready to invest because it doesn't need much because you need much capital to start. So they will initially invest. This kind of business, they will expect some revenues and downloads and all. So yeah. So any other questions?
Sir, then what was your initial investment in this?
Actually, we have bootstrapped this company. So myself and my partner who is working on it, we both invested each 1 lakh, and then we started this business. So we haven't get any venture capitalist fund yet. So we have bootstrapped from zero to now, based on company valuation, it's a $1 million one. So it's like 7 crores in valuation.
Any other companies have supported you for funds like
No,
that?
no. It's totally we bootstrapped our own money.
Oh, okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Manoj.
Aditya, for you is okay, but many students have idea, but they don't have the financial support to do. Okay, so
Yeah.
for them, is there any funding agencies to provide such a sort of initial venture, like that is initial finance support?
Yeah, actually, so it's also depends upon the business type. So there are lots of angel fundings are there. In LinkedIn also, even 100x venture capitalist, if you give a proposal in a good way, mainly the thing to get a first check is the pitch, investment pitch. So that should be like is how you make a resume for your own profile. The same like that, you have to make a good pitch with attracting pitch by showing your future potential, so they are ready to pay. If you have a solid future potential, and their main concern is are you ready to work full time in this company? And you shouldn't say like I will take salary from your investment. So you have to totally dedicate it to your company, and all the money you have to invest, whatever they will give a first check like around 25 lakhs, also they are ready to give. So you have to use this money to grow the company. So if you can able to do that, then some investment companies are there to give the first check without revenues also. But this app kind of business, most of the venture capitalists are expecting some numbers. If you are doing some other business like in electronics or some, or like say drone making companies like that, so if it has a future potential, then they are ready to invest.
Okay, Aditya, thank you. Then actually, then one more question. So many of the people are started their business, right? Okay, they have started their own business and they are keep on working on that. Then after 1 year or 2 years, within the period, they used to close the business. Some people has moved some other business. Okay, so what is the difficulties within the period 1 year, within 1 year, within 2 years? They used to switch over, or they totally drop the entire business plan. Okay.
Yeah, that's what the main thing. So even we faced the same problem. So we started actually 2020 May, we started this Memo Apps company, and then we started developing this Memo Neat, and we have done a good job in product and content wise everything, but we haven't got motivation because of poor marketing. We shut down the company. So we don't know how to market, so we couldn't able to reach the users. So we thought it's a bad product, it's not going to be usable. So that's where the motivation loses. So people will, but if they continue in a proper way with a proper mentorship and guidance, we wouldn't have a situation to shut down. Because if anyone has a mentor to guide to in marketing, so we didn't face this situation to shut down. But still, then we given another chance. Okay, then we analyzed our problem, what happened, and then we found, okay, it's because of poor marketing. We couldn't able to get users, we couldn't get any revenue. Then we given another try. So we tried lots of in marketing, like going in Instagram and Telegram. Finally we found a good marketing strategy. It's like a YouTube, so influencer marketing. So then only, okay, our business is done by this influencer marketing. So it's called go-to-market strategy, we'll say. So then we approached a YouTuber who is running the niche channel. We will pay some money and they will explain about our app. Then we got downloads and people are started paying also. So that's why. So the startups are not shut down by the ideas, but the founders who have lost the motivation and energy. The main reason lots of startups are shutting down, and the bad market fit also. So in earlier slide I told solution in search of a problem. We will think this is a solution, and we have developed the product, and we will force the people to use our product. So in that case also startups are failing. So that's where this MVP is very helpful to identify a real problem, and we are giving a real problem to a real solution. So businesses never die if we solve the real problem to the people. So this is the main reason I think most of the startups are shutting down.
So one more question, sir.
Yes.
Sir, actually, you have finished your undergraduation in EC department.
Yes.
But your field is entirely different. So
Yes.
how possible? Because it's like developing app. Have you done any separate course for this, or by your own interest you have?
Yeah, it's my own interest. So when I was studying schooling itself, so I was learning coding. So I was passionate on coding. After that, in final year project, I did an app called Vote for Future. So which is like how we are going and doing voting right currently. So for that, I made using a fingerprint sensor, using a Raspberry Pi, and instead of going some other places and voting from home itself, from the app itself, using our fingerprint and the other database, we can connect and vote. So from where my passion also developed. So I chose the path, Android development. And another opportunity, I will take this as an opportunity because I got an arrear in 8th semester. So I couldn't able to jump in Accenture. So if I go in Accenture, their software or their developing is totally different from Android. So I would have been in a different path. So maybe that also helped me to choose this path. So because if I went to Accenture, the total, it's like a service-based company, .NET developer I would have become. But I couldn't choose that path. The life also made me this path. And that's why not only because of this area, but my own passion also. So I used Udemy. There is a website, Udemy and Udacity, which is taught by Google developers. So it's very excellent in teaching all the programming related stuffs, Android or artificial intelligence. So it's all taught by Google developers. So from there I learned and I created this app.
Okay,
So,
thank you.
Sir, how do you generate revenue?
Yeah, our business model is so we will a subscription based business model. So per year and 1 year subscription is there and 2 year subscription is there. So we will give 25% of contents free. So they will try and use our app, thus looking into 25% of contents, they will feel satisfied and happy. And then to unlock all the other contents, we will give 1 year subscription and 2 year subscription. So that's our pricing model. And we will generate revenue from ad also. So once you install our app, so after 2 days, ads will start appearing. So people who are using very freely, we will generate revenue from them also through ads. So two revenue model is there.
Sir, is your company publicly traded?
No. Ours is partnership only, private. Okay. Any other questions?
Yeah, any other questions, students? Don't hesitate. I hope people are anyway used to connect with Aditya through WhatsApp and LinkedIn. Okay, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, definitely, right? The people are in the meeting, they are not in the position to discuss that much. Okay, definitely you will get the call from our students, Aditya. Okay, be ready.
Sure.
Okay. Right. Generally, the students used to have that attitude while doing the graduate, right? Okay. Even see, I'm very happy to see you, Aditya. Okay. Actually, you are grown up, right? Okay. Actually, 2018-19 periods, actually, you people are listening our words, but now we are all listening your presentation. Okay. It's really happy environment, right? Okay. So happy period too. Okay, thank you for your presentations. Actually, is a good presentations. Actually, you grown up. Okay,
Okay,
it's
thank
clear.
you.
Yes.
Thank you for your appreciation.
Students, is there any other queries?
Yeah, if you feel fear in us, you can contact me personally. So if you have
Yeah,
any,
actually, now.
actually, I want to tell another thing.
Hmm.
I'm looking for an Android developer intern, paid intern. So if you have any interested to join my startup, you can. Oh, you're ready to open for this opportunity. So yeah.
Yes, good information, Aditya. Thank you. Thank you, behalf of our student and departments. Okay, thank you. Because most of the students are trying for internship.
Yeah.
Yes. So the so-and-so internship training is a very friendly one. So definitely they will get benefited and they will fine tune about their goal. Okay,
Yes.
right? Okay,
Yes.
it's good. Students, please make a note. Okay, this number and LinkedIn profile details.
Okay, sir.
Yes.
Aditya,
Yes, ma'am.
this is Vasni.
Yes, ma'am.
It was nice presentation. Good to see you here with us after a very long time.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciation.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Subhashini, ma'am. Uday Kumar, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Okay. Thank you, sir.
We'll finalize. Yes, we'll wind up the session, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Yes. So
Vote of thanks,
okay.
sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So there's a time to vote of thanks. Okay. Good evening, everyone. Actually, it gives me an immense pleasure to propose a vote of thanks for today's event on behalf of the Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering, Medical Electronics, and Institution Innovation Council. I extend my heartiest thanks to our chief guest, Mr.Adithya.M.P.N, an entrepreneur, to take out time from his busy schedule to grace this event. Thank you, Aditya, for your entrepreneurial speech about the prototype validation and converting prototype into startup. Then, special thanks to our management, principal sir, vice principal sir, for providing a continuous support and guidance. And I extend my gratitude to Dr. Komala James, head of ECE department and medical electronics department, for her immense support to make the event successful one. And I extend my special thanks to Ms.V.P. Sandhya ma'am for coordinating the event. Also, I extend my sincere thanks to our department faculty members and inter-department faculty members who have joined in the session. And also, I extend our heartfelt thanks to our students for their active participations who have joined in the session. We hope you are all have a good session with learning about the startups. So thank you all. So thank you students and faculty members. Thank you all. Thank you,
Thank you,
Aditya.
sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
Aditya.
Yes,
Thank
thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Aditya.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Aditya.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Yeah, you just you can leave from the
Okay.
meet. Yes.
Thank you, Senthil sir.
Thank you, Mari sir. Thank you. Thank you all.
Sir, I can
Thank you,
leave, sir.
sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Uday sir. Thank you. Please. Thank you, students.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Manoj. Sandhya ma'am.
Yes, sir. Thank you,
Well,
sir.
yeah, thank you, ma'am. We'll end the meeting, ma'am.
Sir. Yes. Yes, sir.
Okay, ma'am.